Steamy Bean here, coming at you from the north. All this cloud coverage. Looks like it's a November day, but it's actually spring. And it's pretty cool outside, even though much of the snow has gone. But the river remains, of course, have ice on it, slushy ice, and just grateful that oh Lord, well, grateful that no one's got hurt. Just the other day, some young person was on their four-wheeler side by side and wanted to go on the ice with it, and unfortunately the side by side went through the ice. Just grateful that no one was killed. All right, so here on the ice, you'll see an area that was once open ice, and that's where the side-by-side plunged into. Well, how silly is this? You can even see by looking at the video about how it's ridiculous to think that that's going to hold up a teenager or whoever on the side by side. Just grateful that hey, the kid left walking. So it is just grateful that the person's fine, and you always worry this time of year with the thaw and ice breaking up and whatnot, that during breakup season is that well, the number one thing you worry about is like little kids playing by the shore, and playing with the slush and the ice and stepping on it. Well, that just could cause the worst problems, the worst of the worst. Well, it's been a fun weekend for me. Did a trip into Flin Flon, driving the small school bus, where myself and other adult chaperones brought in kiddies, like students, grade 6 and 7, to see the chamber orchestra, and they were this orchestra is from Winnipeg, and they traveled, well, it must be 8+ hours from Winnipeg to Flin Flon, and thanks to Flin Flon Arts Council, hey, they gave us a break, really good, generous break on the tickets. And we were able to take the kids to a show, a concert, and I don't think any of those kids saw a concert like that before. As a matter of fact, one of the kids says, they've never been to a concert. So, we were treated so well in Flin Flon. We got to meet, violinists from the orchestra, and also the Flin Flon Arts Council, and other members of Flin Flon were very gracious towards us. So very grateful for that, and it's good, really good to get out to see what's happening on in Flin Flon, and I'll be looking forward to supporting them even more. So I was looking at the person in the truck, the driver, and they were busy hiding their face while I was filming this. They didn't want to be seen, but I wasn't filming them, but comical nonetheless. Rest assured, if you're watching this, my intention was not to film you. So on our way home, before we departed Flin Flon, oh boy, the member of the Arts Council gave the group a great big tray of the most delicious looking squares. And we're talking about Nanaimo bars and butter tarts. Now, if you're from the excited states or wherever, I'm not too sure what Nanaimo bars are or butter tarts. Well, Google it. They're heavenly treats, and I must say that I'm very proud of myself that I did not partake in having any of the squares whatsoever. I quickly did my signature handoff where I had the kids get. What we did was we stopped by Tim Hortons in Creighton, Saskatchewan, right across the river. Not right across the river, but right across from Flin Flon, and got little boxes and separated the squares and tarts or whatever, and kids were able to take some home with them. Some good quality squares. Of course, I need to eat a square or a tart like I need a hole in the head. So, I'm quite proud of myself that I had the willpower. It's one of those moments where, hey, I would have loved to taste them, but have I tasted them before? Yes, I know what they taste like. I know that they're good. So I have the memory of it. And as soon as I handed out that last square, I'm like, oh, okay. One less thing to worry about. And that means it kind of gave me a jump start into looking where I'm at on my weight loss journey. I have a feeling that part 2 is coming up because for months now I've been, keeping it kind of balanced and maintaining my weight, which isn't bad. Actually, I'm thinking it's quite good that the scale hasn't climbed up. It goes up a few pounds and down a few pounds. That is not the end of the world for me. And I've been going back and forth with another thing is on my mind. Should I go to Saskatoon or not? And during the week, I was coming up with ideas why I might benefit from Saskatoon. It would be a cool little trip. But, I'd like to see that model show, plastic model cars and armor and whatnot, planes, but it's still very expensive to travel 7 hours, especially with the price of gas these days. So, that means that next weekend I will not be on my way to Saskatoon. And that, I guess one thing is that I don't have to worry, I don't have to concern myself on, usually when I go to Saskatoon, I usually eat out and I just continue eating healthy at home. Also, I actually put my scale up high, somewhere, not too high, but just above the floor, where I think I'm going to take a time out from measuring myself on the scale, measuring my weight on the scale, probably for the month of May, and just focus on healthy eating and enjoying life. Now here's a nice gazebo with a view, eh? It's been put up recently, like I think last year or last summer, by the village office. Oh, it's still very sloshy here. So, I'm going to kind of, just get the idea out of my mind of traveling in July. May and July, June and July, just because of the price of fuel. That probably means that for the month of July, I'll just hunker down in my trailer and Flin Flon and enjoy the good life, what it has to offer. So I'm thinking that this summer I have a rod and reel, but I just need lures and weights and bobs and stuff like that to get into fishing, and I could get myself maybe a fishing license and fish on the Saskatchewan side. If I have to fish on the Manitoba side, I will, but I might have to just buy a temporary license. I don't know, but who knows? I know that Ontario, I'm sure there in other provinces like Ontario, they do have special days where you can fish in the province without a license. And maybe I'll take advantage of that when I'm in Flin Flon. Maybe they have one of those days in July when I'm there. That'd be groovy. One channel I'm enjoying on YouTube is a fishing channel, Mike Hutts. I think it's called Mike Hutts Fishing. I'm not too sure, but I interviewed the guy last summer, and he has a cool channel worth watching. And another thing I'd like to get into when I'm in Flin Flon camping is to go on some good long walks. And when I was living in Saskatoon, I was very much interested in organization, global organization on, I think it's called Volk, V-O-L-K. Certainly in Germany means folk or people, like people walking, the people's walking or whatever it's called. And they have chapters worldwide. And they don't have clubs that I know of in the north, but I like the idea of it, so I'm gonna, make a routine in July to do my walks, maybe even vlog about that, and find out more about the organization. Canada has an organization. It's hard to find online, because if you look at Volk Walk, you're gonna get a shoe company. But if you look up actually on the American site, their website is ava.org. So you go to Google and put ava.org, you're gonna get the American site. And on the American site, you'll get links to the Canadian page. So it's a neat outfit, I was watching a channel called on Rusty's channel. Rusty is a guy who lives in his camper van in Texas, and that channel's worth watching. And he stumbled upon some walkers, some Volk walkers in the States, in New Mexico. And these group of ladies that were walking, well, they're in their 60s and 70s. And what was really cool is that one lady, I think she was like the head of the group for Texas. And she had managed to walk in every county in Texas. That was her goal. And they have other in Canada, for example, you could sign up and say, like, okay, I will plan to walk at so many sites where there's lighthouses or or ports for cruise ship ports. And I thought that was kind of neat, because I've been interested in, oh my goodness, this is, look at that mud. Anyways, I thought that was kind of groovy, because that'd be something I'd do. But I think if I did something like that, I'd do the lighthouses. But you don't have to go all the way here and there, especially with the price of gas these days. What you do is You pick some sites local if you can't afford the gas, like I can't, and just enjoy good walks. And there you have it. So, you know, at the end of the day, I don't see myself venturing too far from the north, just because of, like I mentioned many times before, the price of gas. I think that's the 5th time I mentioned it, so it must be on my mind. And I have a cruise to go to in August. So in August, I'll be on the road to Saskatoon and catching flights on my cruise. Anyways, folks, thanks for watching. And keep on rocking in the free world.